Get your Proton packs ready because we are about to cross the streams. Amazon, Apple, Google, all of them want your dirty viewing data to flow through their special little box. But which one is the best one to stick in your port? Well, it's the NVIDIA Shield, but I'll tell you why. Hello players, there are a lot of streaming devices out there, so why would you choose any of them over what is built into your TV? Well, for a start, that's gross. Just kidding. What is built into your TV might be okay for most things, but one thing to keep in mind is that TV processors are often not great. Until you get to the very top end of TV line, even then they can tend to be hit or miss, which can lead to, sluggish interface, low storage space, that kind of stuff. Next, if you have a Google TV, that's not going to talk to Alexa or Siri, and if that's your jam, some TV manufacturers might build in support, but that's, again, a might. The other thing is tvOS updates are slower than Ralph Wiggum, leaving you sometimes with way outdated versions of Android. If you know or skipped all of that, let me introduce the #1 contenders in the streaming Royal Rumble. There's Amazon Fire TV, the range of sticks, cubes and TVs, Android TV or Google TV with sticks or built-in, Apple TV, and of course the NVIDIA Shield. Let's start with the apps and the OS because quality means nothing if there's nothing to watch. The Amazon Fire TV stuff runs a special version of Android, but Amazon's version of Android is a lot more locked down than vanilla Android, probably because they are trying to crack down on their devices being used for piracy, but that does mean worse experiences if you like to tinker or load your own apps. All of the big apps are on there, Netflix, Disney, Hulu and so on, but in the past Amazon has had a falling out with Google and in the past removed YouTube from all of their devices. Now that was 6 years ago and they have since kissed and made up, but Amazon having that level of control about what you can and can't have on your device doesn't really sit that well with me. Android TV and Google TV is a lot less restrictive. It runs native Android, although Google TV is just kind of a reskin for Android TV. You can run pretty much whatever you want there, and there is a way to get any Android app to run on Google TV. Now the NVIDIA Shield also runs native Android, more on that later. As you'd expect, Android TV only has Google Assistant support, but it's possible that the TV itself has some kind of Alexa support. Fire TV, of course, only has Alexa support. The Apple TV's UI is great if you don't like customizing anything. No, that's unfair. You can change the top bar. It's Apple's UI in its purest form, and if you like that, that's great. But it's clear that you have to use it the way Apple wants you to. Now, Apple TV runs on a special tvOS, which means that iPad and iPhone apps won't work, unlike Android, where everything works most of the time. Both of these approaches have their pros and cons. With Apple TV, you are limited, but you also can't install anything that is going to give you a bad experience unless you download the True TV app. I'm kidding. I look forward to your comments. With Android, you can install pretty much anything, but not everything is going to be a great experience. And if you try and use some phone-only apps, they may lock up your device. Okay, so operating system may or may not be a deal breaker for you, but pretty much all of them are going to have the apps that you care about. Now, each one does have some special features that may tip the edge, and we'll get to those at the end, because Apple can do some pretty wild stuff. Since this video is about the best streaming box, we are going to talk about the features of the top devices. So for Amazon, we're going to look at the Fire TV Stick 4K, 4K Max, Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen, which launched in 2023 and 2022, respectively. For Apple, we're going to look at the Apple TV 4K Wi-Fi and Ethernet, which launched in 2022. Google, we've got the Chromecast and Google TV 4K, launched in 2020 for that one. And the NVIDIA, of course, we're looking at the NVIDIA Shield Pro, which is all the way back in 2019. Now, of course, all of these support 4K Dolby Vision and HDR10, and all of them, apart from the NVIDIA Shield Pro, supports HDR10 Plus as well. The 2019 version of the Shield Pro, the current one, will never be able to handle HDR10 because the hardware simply isn't there. When it comes to audio, Chromecast is the worst, only supporting Dolby Digital Plus, and Dolby Atmos. The next step up is the Apple TV, which in addition also supports Dolby Digital Plus 7.1 and Apple Lossless, because of course. Apart from Apple Lossless, the Fire TV devices and the Shield Pro take the top spot because they can also do DTS HD. The Shield takes the gold though by also being able to do DTS-X. Now, if all of that sounds like a noisy mess, I'm making a video on what all of those formats mean, so you can, there's a sub button for that. But DTS-X is the DTS version of Dolby Atmos, and the fact that I have to explain what that is clearly tells you which one's winning. The issue with a device not being able to play DTS is that any content in DTS will be in stereo at best or silence at worst. Just ask the people who bought the Sonos early why DTS is important. Form factor is a very personal choice. Do you like Apple's sexy, forgiving curves, or the hard, fast gamer edges of the Nvidia Shield, or Amazon's Void Cube, or the mildly penis Chromecast? Whatever opinion I say will be wrong, but they all look fine. But please, manufacturers, for the love of Gaben, please stop using glossy black plastic. Just stop. The remote is a different story, and I have to say Apple wins here. That's the one I don't have, but I have played with it before. It has some cool features which I'll get into in a sec, but the build quality is amazing. From Nvidia, the Shield's unique triangle remote is very comfortable and built slightly better than the Amazon remote Chromecasters last, but they all lose points because of the stupid Netflix button. Amazon is the worst, with 4 streaming buttons. What happens when Netflix goes bankrupt? You've got stupid, useless buttons that you can't do anything with. Anyway, Apple has no stupid buttons, and what it does have is something pretty cool. You can use the navigation pad to swipe instead of clicking, and it has support for Siri, which has some cool contextual commands for the TV, like saying, "Siri, what did they say?" and it will rewind and turn on subtitles or captions, which is neat. A major downside of this remote is that it uses non-replaceable internal batteries, and you have to charge the remote with a USB cable. Why? That may be understandable if the remote came with a dock or something, but it doesn't. All of the others you can just swap out the AAAs and you're ready. Rechargeable AAAs. The Apple TV has some things if you're already part of Apple's walled garden, like spatial audio when you use AirPods, which mimics surround sound, and use of all of the home automations using HomeKit. But if we're talking about special features here, the Shield is gloved up and ready to throw down. So besides being able to run almost every landscape Android game with ease, the Shield has gamepad support, 2 USB 3.0 ports, Apple has none, and AI 4K upscaling, which is very impressive. Oh yeah, and you can also run Steam Link, so you can stream games from your PC and play them on any TV. Apple still hates gamers. As for price, the Apple TV is $180 or £169 for the Ethernet version. The Shield Pro is more expensive at $199 or £189, but it has been on sale a couple of times for £159. The Fire TV Cube is $175 or £140, but that does go on sale a lot. And it's on sale right now, probably, depending when you're watching this. And the Chromecast is about £40. So what's the TLDR if you just need something, anything? Well, the Chromecast is a thing. The best bang for your buck is going to be any of the top tier Fire TV devices when they are on sale, but Ethernet is only 100 megabits. Even the Fire TV Ethernet dongle is only 100 megabits, which is just stupid. Wi-Fi is fine. But keep in mind that there are a lot of ads on the Fire TV stuff. Amazon, even recently in April 2024, updated their OS so that when you turn it on, you are greeted with a full-screen auto-playing video from their streaming service. Yuck. It usually has John Cena, so it's not all bad, I suppose. Which leaves the Apple TV and the Shield Pro. I opened with the Shield winning, but if you are already in Apple's EcoJail, it might be a better choice if you don't care about games. I don't know why Apple hates gamers, but Nvidia loves gamers, and if you go with Apple, you lose any DTS support, which can be an issue if you like content from the 90s and 2000s. There's a lot of stuff was mastered in DTS back then, so stuff will just likely be in stereo. So what do you give up with the Nvidia Shield? Well, it's old. As I said, like 2019 old. Which means no HDR10 Plus. It has HDR10, but no Plus, and it only has Wi-Fi 5. Isn't it crazy that this thing predates Wi-Fi 6? As long as it's not HDR10, the Nvidia Shield will play anything that you throw at it, from a USB stick, or Plex, or streaming, or from Steam, from your PC. HDR10 Plus will still work, but it will just fall back to HDR10. But the Nvidia Shield has been due a refresh for a very long time. That means one of two things. Either a new version is very close and you might just want to wait, but the rumor mill has been churning on that one for a very long time, or that this is the last one, which means long-term support is up in the air. Yeah, links for all of them are in the description. Stream off in the comments which device is best. I can see a lot of angry fists in the air. Hopefully this made things a bit clearer or a bit more confusing. Either way, you made it this far, so well done. Keep playing and be excellent to each other. Whichever one you like, buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, now upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip unzip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, tree it, code it, jam, unlock it, surf it, scroll it, pose it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch, update it, name it, rate it, tune it, print it, scan it, send it, fax, rename it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, stop, format it.